guys, Jessie here. I am super excited because I'm about to watch the second episode of Degrassi Season 1, The Next Generation. I watched the first one, got all nostalgic about my tiny humans. They're so little, they're so little, but it's adorable and I love it, and I am really excited to see what happens with Jordan because I honestly don't remember. The last episode started off with Emma and Manny on her computer reading a letter from Jordan, or an email from Jordan. Emma's completely smitten. Manny seems a little annoyed, but she's into it because Emma's happy. And she's looking at a picture of him and he said, "I love you," and she's all excited. Spike comes upstairs. Emma's mom says, "You gotta get ready for school." She's like, "Oh, I was just looking at your reunion website," which she's obviously trying to hide from her mom that she's talking to this kid. We find out that it's Spike's 10-year reunion. She's really excited to see everybody, but she needs to get the girls downstairs because they have to go pick up JT. They have to get to school. Emma's about to leave the room. She sees she gets a new message. It's probably from Jordan, but she can't look at it because she's gotta go to school. So progressively throughout the episode, we keep finding more things out about Jordan. We're introduced to JT. He's helping Manny and Emma carry things into the school that her mom gave her for the reunion. We're introduced to Joey and Lucy. Joey's a car salesman. He's trying to sell her a car. He then introduces her to his adorable daughter, Angela. Lucy asks him why he's not going to the reunion, and he goes, I know, kind of tries to brush it off, and she's like, "Listen, we know that your wife died and we're all sorry, but you need to be around people, be around your friend." He continues to brush it off, just kind of runs away, and then next it's the first meeting between Mr. Simpson, Emma, JT, and Manny. Melted my heart. We're introduced to Tiny Toby. Him and JT do their awesome camp handshake, which I want to learn, and then JT introduces Toby to Emma and Manny, and this is where the beautiful friendships begin. We're next introduced to Caitlin, who calls Mr. Simpson Snake, which we find out is his nickname. I love it because he looks so innocent. The last nickname I thought would be his is Snake. I always loved that. We learn that she is engaged to some like big Hollywood producer or something like that, and she catches a glimpse of Joey out the window and they kind of share that like, "Ooh, it's you." That is terrible flirty eyes. I don't know how I have a boyfriend. Caitlin asks why he's not going to the reunion. He's just like, And she's like, "Well, if you're not going to go, at least come out for drinks with us." And Lucy kind of answers for him and is like, "Yeah, we'll definitely be there." You can sense that there's some weird tension between Joey and Caitlin. We learn that Jordan is coming to Emma's town. He tells her this and he's going to be there, surprise, tomorrow. So she's excited to meet him, but she's also really nervous because she told him that she was in high school and she's not yet a freshman. Like, they're going to be freshmen. JT makes a comment about how he's probably 40 and drools. Toby jumps in and he's like, "If you met this guy on the internet, meeting him in person could be really dangerous." And Emma's like, "Oh, he's not a stranger. He emailed me his picture. I've known him longer than I've known you." And Manny jumps in and she's like, "It's cool, guys. He's 16. He's coming here on a class trip." And JT's like, "It's the summertime. What class trip?" So Emma keeps making excuses. Manny keeps backing her up. And the boys are kind of just like, this is a bad idea. Next we have Spike and Caitlin. Spike's like, "I can't wait to meet," I can't remember his name. And Caitlin kind of is like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Your ring's so beautiful," and she's like, "Yeah, I picked it out myself. He's really busy." So you sense that there's some neglect in the relationship between the two of them. She doesn't really seem that happy about it. Emma comes in and she's like, "What are you doing on my computer?" She's like all like, oh, like high strung and nervous. I think it's because she's still trying to hide from her mom that she's talking to Jordan, so she's afraid that her mom may have seen something on the computer. She sees Caitlin there totally freaks out and fangirls over her, knows like what sign she is and everything. And I think they showed Caitlyn on the cover of a magazine in the beginning when Manny and Emma were in the room, and I feel like she's some kind of activist for something. She does something for, the planet in some way. We're gonna find out, I'm sure. Spike makes a comment like, oh, are you waiting for an email from your boyfriend? And she's like, did you hack my email? She's like, no, but I can tell when you're interested in boys. And she's like, Mom, I'm not having sex. I actually said that to my father once. I was 17 years old and I was going away for prom weekend. He didn't want me to go. And I was like, Dad, I'm a virgin. It'll be fine. So Emma starts looking through all the emails between her and Jordan. She's looking for something off or strange, and she can't find anything. And Manny's like, JT is just worried about you. She's like, JT is immature, not like Jordan. Manny's like, maybe we should listen to what Toby was saying. It could be dangerous. And Emma's like, I could take care of myself. We'll meet in a public place. It'll be fine. Manny's like, maybe tell your mom. She's cool. She'd get it. And Emma's like, she's not that cool. Are you saying you don't think I should meet him? And she does this like weird little like thing on her head. Like, I think it was supposed to be like, duh. But so all the adults meet for drinks. We meet Caitlyn's fiance, who is on and off of his phone, being very rude. Everyone's kind of just joking around, ignoring it, having a good time. We learn that Lucy was in some sort of accident because Joey mentions 2 years of physical therapy. Lucy mentions something about, I survived the accident, I got off easy. And actually like raises her eyebrows when she's like, I survived the accident, I got off easy. So I don't know if maybe that has something to do with Joey's wife. Maybe she was involved too. I don't know what accident they're talking about. I'm assuming we're going to learn about that. I don't know if that's something that had happened in the Degrassi high school, where their season from the 80s into the 90s. But Joey kind of made it sound like it happened more when they were older. So I don't know. It says something, I swear I thought he said kind of like Wheels. I don't know if that's another nickname for somebody, but he says kills a kid and then gets off scot-free 10 years later. And they all kind of get really solemn, and then they're disrupted by Joey's car commercial. I'll give her the shirt off my back. It's ridiculous. It's so funny, and it makes them all crack up and laugh. And then Caitlyn's fiance comes back and he's like, oh, you should hire a real actor next time. And it's like, that guy sucks. All of his friends are kind of like, no, if you knew Joey, you would know that that commercial was pure Joey. And then Caitlyn kind of chimes in and she's like, yeah, he was such a ham in high school. Oh, it's like after everything you've been through, you're still the same old Joey. And he does not like that. He's like, actually, I have changed. And you can see he's really offended. He gets up, he walks away, goes over to the bar. Spike follows him, or Snake follows him, and is like, what's going on? He is like, this is a bad idea. I shouldn't have come here. And Snake's like, oh, don't be like that. And he's like, get off my back. He's being like really aggressive. And Snake's like, shutting everybody out isn't going to bring her back. Clearly they're talking about Joey's wife that was mentioned earlier that had passed away. Snake's trying to explain to him that we're just your friends, we're worried about you, and he's like, that's exactly why I don't want to go to the reunion, because wherever I go, people just feel bad for me and it makes me feel weird. And so he's like, oh, this has nothing to do with Caitlyn then. And like, obviously we sense the tension between Joey and Caitlyn earlier. And Joey's like, no, it doesn't. And we're like, yeah, it does. Yeah, we're not stupid. It does. Joey's like, I am sick of everybody feeling sorry for me. And Snake, in an epic fashion, looks at him and goes, I would try to take a look and see who's feeling sorry for themselves. And then, shots, throws a shot back and walks away. I love Snake. So Caitlyn, Lucy, and Spike get back to Spike's house. Emma's lying in bed, probably dreaming about Jordan, and she hears them, so she comes downstairs. Caitlyn sits with her, Emma doesn't really give her the full story. Caitlin's like, oh, is this about your boyfriend? And because she could tell that Emma's like kind of bummed, and Emma's like, yeah, my friends don't want me to be with him, not telling her the full story to see the full picture. So Caitlin's kind of like, well, how do you feel? And she's like, he can see into my soul. We have so much in common. I really like him. Caitlin's like, sometimes you just have to take a chance and go for it, even if your friends don't like it. And Emma says, is that the same like thing you do for the environment? So I'm like, okay, yeah, she's into something environmentally friendly. Go environment. I like that. Go environment. But again, not realizing she's basically telling Emma to go meet this stranger online. Oh god. So she's asking for details. Emma won't really give them. Spike comes in and is like, oh, what are you talking about? And asks if Emma wants to come down with them, and she says no. And then asks Caitlin what they were talking about, and she goes, well, wouldn't you like to know? That really pissed me off. Like, yes, I would like to know. That's my daughter, who is barely even a teenager, and I want to know what the hell you were talking about. I would have been like, what is it, Caitlin? Tell me what you were talking about. So the episode ends with little tiny Emma sitting at her computer, and she types an email to Jordan saying that yes, she wants to meet him. And she says, sometimes you just gotta go for it. And she clicks send. And that's where it ends. To be continued. Clearly, the whole conversation between her and Caitlin was not the same conversation that they both thought that they were having. And it really sucks that Caitlin is her idol, clearly. She like fangirled over her, I love you, blah, 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 blah. And so she's going to take the advice that Caitlin gives very, very seriously, and Caitlin doesn't realize what kind of advice she's giving. So she's not talking to her mom about this. At least all of her friends know. And I don't know, I guess we're just gonna have to see what happens. I'm really excited, so let's go. This is season 1, episode 2 of Degrassi: The Next Generation. I can't wait to sing this song.